had a feeling she was going to do this. I was going to go live. Earlier, she was going live. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was going to go live when she was, so we could all watch it together. And I think she was having issues with her phone or computer, so she was just like, screw it. I was hoping she would go live again, but like I figured, she decided she was just going to make a video and then upload it. I don't know why, but she looks so different. Do y'all see the thumbnails? Like, she looks, look at her face. What's so different? What's different? So whenever she went live, it was like 40 seconds. She wasn't, you couldn't see her. You could hear, like, she was just having issues on there. So her mom did comment and was saying how, Leticia is hurt of what, people have done with the registry and stuff like that. So that, her title was The Problem with Trusting Others. And I had a feeling it was going to be about that. But now, she just literally 60 seconds ago just posted a video titled Guilty Authorities and Feign Trustworthiness. I don't know. And it's so weird because, like, after she tried to go live a little bit later, she, like, posted a picture on Instagram of, like, a cheeseburger or something. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, hopefully this means that she's not too upset. I don't know.
It's hard to describe the feeling of being perfectly at home 1,000 miles from it, or hearing everything while being surrounded by nothing. But once you step inside the all-new 2022 Wagoneer, you get used to it pretty quick.
Come on.
Accomplishing your work goals easier.
Today's July 2nd, 2022. Having gone through the trauma that I've gone through and the abuse that I've sustained at the hands of the authorities, as well as the people that I thought I loved most, that's some of the hardest things to endure. You can't really make up for what has been done to you. The times where I interacted with the officers down in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where, I called the police, and instead of investigating properly and understanding that I was the victim, they took it out on me instead of the actual perpetrators. So when I was physically assaulted those many years ago, approximately 2014, by 4 of my ex-husband's family members, and he just stood there and watched and held my baby. And I told them, I said, you're going to get your karma for doing that shit, and what it goes around comes around. So they took all their money, and they did everything shady backhanded so they wouldn't get in trouble. Since they never got in trouble for assaulting me, I was the one that went to jail that day. I'd gone to...
I thought I was paying attention. Maybe I wasn't, but what is she fucking talking about? First, I thought she was talking about the Jason thing, and then she started talking about her ex. My gosh. It's just like right under an hour, so I'm gonna try not to, I ain't gonna try not to do anything. I'm just gonna see how it goes.
Gone to the dentist and had 4 of my wisdom teeth removed, was on hydrocodone, didn't fight back, there were no marks on anyone else aside from the one that was trying to, attack me really, really bad, and I pulled her hair out because I was trying to yank her away from me.
What the heck?
That's what it was. She was coming at me, and I grabbed her from, like, the back end, was yanking forward to get her away. So, yeah. I didn't fight back, actually. I was just defending myself. So for them to have said that I was the one that was assaulting 2 family members was completely absurd, because my family even knows how gentle I am and how much
Okay. You don't seem very gentle, especially what you did to your baby. Why? Where did this come from? Like, the only thing I'm thinking of is if she's nervous, like her, like these charges. I don't. Actually, I think it might still be open. Um, but I'm wondering if that's why she's thinking about this. It's just weird. Does it need to be charged? Okay, charging. It's just weird that all of a sudden now she's talking about that specific incident with the family members.
It takes me to get to a heightened state. And since I was on, hydrocodone, I didn't feel like fighting like that. I was too fucked up. I just wanted to chill. So I just feel like they misinterpreted the entire situation, and I haven't brushed my teeth in 2 days, and I'm very sad because that led to my downfall. My ex-husband noticed a huge change in my demeanor because I would just lay around super depressed because no one ever got reprimanded for physically assaulting me that day. So, and it was horrible. My clothes were ripped off of me. I had scrapes and cuts everywhere, and they didn't do anything.
That's crazy. I don't know what happened. I was not there. But I find that really hard to believe that she had all these cuts and bruises and everything like that, and she was the one who, I don't know how many incidents there was, but I do know that there was a RO. So I don't know if this is why. I don't know. But I find it hard to believe that she was the one with all the cuts and bruises, but they went with the, I don't know, it's just weird. And even if there was like 2, 3, 4 of them that were saying like the same thing, you have to take that with a grain of salt because obviously they're family, so they're going to stick with each other. I don't know. And wouldn't they ask both parties, okay, well, do you want to press charges? Okay, do you want to press charges? Type of shit. And if they press charges on her, then I'm going to be like, well, fuck, I want to press charges on them. I don't know. This is a weird situation. I don't even know why she's talking about this. Honestly, I don't know. Unless this is one that's still open, or if she's like thinking about court and wondering if this is going to play a part in it.
Do anything to them. Absolutely nothing. They didn't file anything against them. They didn't file that they were the ones that physically assaulted another human being. They said that they were protecting themselves on their own property. From what? From my belongings? They stole from me as well, and then turned around and stole my daughter afterward? So, what are you trying to tell me? Sounds kind of backwards to me. Sounds kind of like you allowed everyone to manipulate the situation, and they left me with 2 loaded guns of theirs, knowingly. And then understood that later on I was probably going to try to kill myself because my ex-husband knew how suicidal I had become after all these altercations, all these miscommunications. So they looked at me like I was doing shit because I would steal little things from stores, and they knew. They kept a monitor. But it was stupid little things that I would end up giving away. So they didn't like me at all down here. They thought that I was too confident when I moved down here, and, that I showed some cleavage, and I ended up losing my driver's license at one point. And someone started a cable account with my license and a different social security number. That's how stupid the people are. They don't research things. They don't make sure that the person is actually real.
She's like, I know how to do this.
So there was one started at the cable company here at this town, at Hot Springs. So, yeah, it makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. I fucking hate everyone. It's really, really, really hard to trust anyone nowadays, especially the authorities, especially because one of the officers, when I was in the middle of the divorce, I knew him personally because we went to Dillard's together. Like, we went and worked at Dillard's together. He was the security guard, and I was just in the baby section doing my organization, and that's where I was. I was placed in the baby section so I could help people out. And I was a really kind of young, naive, kind of fat, chubby girl, and everyone thought that, oh yeah, this one's easily sex trafficked in that way. We can go ahead and fuck with her, and she's not going to say anything, and eventually, whatever, just fuck with her. So yeah, I've had instances with authorities that, weren't normal, that were too flirtatious because they don't know how to keep their dicks in their fucking hands, with their own hands, or in their fucking pants. But then they blame it on the women because I was dressing too provocatively because I had a little cleavage showing.
Oh my gosh, I know. Is it me? Am I not paying attention close enough? What are we talking about now? Something about Dillard's. Wait, the officer... Was it the officer who showed up? She is all over the place, but in a weird way. Let me read the title. A guilty authority. Okay. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm, like, being sidetracked and I'm not, like... I feel like she's just jumping to these different things and I'm getting confused. I'm not as heightened as she is.
That's insane. If you can't control yourself, that's on you. So, anyway, I ended up, hiding that deep down within me because at the time I was at least 220 pounds, 250 pounds when this officer, because he had became a Garland County police officer years afterward, after being a security guard. So when he came to arrest my husband that day, when I had filed for my husband pushing me over because I was assaulting me in my fucking home and it was my goddamn home.
Gosh.
So he pushed me over and I fell down and I called the police. I said, my husband just pushed me. And I don't even know, I guess at the time, yeah, we were married. So he took him away. And then he said, well, I'll be back. And he rubbed his finger across my chest and everything. And it led to us sitting down and I was chatting with him. I told him how attractive.
Okay, first of all, no. First of all, what officer says, I'll be back? I'll be back. I'm like, for what, dude? We good? I think me and my neighbors have seen enough police officers around here. Like, why? That's the first right there. First, it doesn't make sense. If something happens and you call, they don't come back. I don't know if this has happened to y'all, let me know, but usually, no. I mean, they do what they need to do and they leave. They wouldn't call, they have no reason to come back. And that's where I would be like, okay, like, I guess, I don't know, I guess they were like friends because they worked, or acquaintances because they worked together. But I would be like, no, like, I don't know, that's weird. Like, obviously, she wanted him, or she didn't mind him coming back to the place, because I would have been like, why do you have to come back? There's nothing to come back for. Unless you wanted to be like, okay, yeah, like, you're cool, like, we're good. You come back and, this is fucking weird. It's always weird shit.
Attractive he had become, and that he always was. And so he was like, well...
Okay, no. So, now I just remembered that she said that he, like, what did she say? Rub his finger across her chest or something, whatever. I would have been like, I mean, unless you like the dude and you wanted that, I would have been like, okay, first of all, there's no reason for you to come back. Second of all, do not lay your hands on me like that again. That would be it. But See, like, little things like these you have to pick up. And it's like, she talks so fast. And then it's like, hold up. If he's arresting your husband, that's all he has to do. He gets the report while he's there. He arrests your husband. He doesn't need to come back. And then he supposedly touched you. And it makes it worse because he was on duty. But obviously you didn't mind because you didn't tell him, no, you don't need to come back. You didn't say anything about whenever he touched your chest. And then you obviously invite him in. You could have at least been like, I'm not even going to answer the door. I'm going to pretend I'm asleep. I'm asleep. I'm in the shower. And like, you could have done so many things. Like, I don't get it. So you invite him back in. I don't even know where the story's going, but I feel like you have to really pick up things quick with her. So she invites him back in. She lets him sit down. They start conversating. And then she goes on to say how he is attractive and how she's always thought he's attractive. What could go wrong?
Well, you want to, and then I had to give him head.
No,
so I was
you
like,
didn't.
What the fuck is going on?
No. Oh my gosh. See? Bullshit. She literally just said, oh, I told him how he's always been attractive. And then she jumps from that to, and then I had to give him, I'll be damned. You ain't gotta do shit. I don't care who you are. You can beat me in my living room if you want to. I ain't gonna go down like that. I don't know if these are true. I don't know if some of them are true and some of them are embellished. I don't know if they're all fucking true. I'm not trying to sound cold-hearted, but if they are true, you would think she would start to, like, boss up and become, like, have a tough exterior and stand up for herself and be like, bitch, no. Like, how many, this sounds bad, but it's like I don't know. I guess there's people out there who will always be a victim, but I know in my case, yeah, like I'm quiet and shocked and everything at first, but let that fucking shit try to happen now, I don't know. And the way that she acts, you would think that I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I hope all this stuff didn't happen. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just, the pieces aren't going together.
And he was on duty at that time. So then I just never said anything. That was around 2014, 2015, around that time. And there has to be proof because of the time that I had called to arrest my husband. That's what happened. And the fact that they didn't have body cams at the time, and the fact that they should always have body cams on the officers now to know what kind of nefarious shit they're doing. Even the officer that had transported me, just recently in the...
Don't they have, like, GPS on the vehicles, though? I mean, for one, if they did not have a body cam, they should have had a camera on the vehicle. And that would at least show him being at her place at that time and date. And then match it up to the report that he was there at that time and date. And use the GPS in his vehicle to see where his vehicle was on that time and date. I don't know. I thought you was smart, Leticia.
To the Bentonville station to the to the jail. At one point we were driving down the backwoods. There was no one on the roads because it was a bunch of back roads.
Wait, what is she talking about now? How does she end up in a vehicle? Is she talking about the vehicle with this officer? How do you end up in a vehicle with this person? Did he drug you and throw you in there? If this just happened to me, you think I'll get in a vehicle with a motherfucker? I'm so confused. This is why it does not make sense to me. And I'm not trying... I'm just going to shut up. Shut up.
He was on the opposite side of the road at one point because he what is that? Miscalculated a turn, and was like all the way on the other side. I was having fun. I was hoping that we would roll over because we were in an SUV. So, I mean, he was terrible at driving in that way, texting and on the phone and calling and everything. And, you know, who cares? You're just transporting innocent victims and a baby in your vehicle. So, I don't know what to tell you, but that doesn't seem safe whatsoever, especially to someone that didn't falsify the rape report, was fully asleep when she was penetrated. And then I'm trying to tell everybody, this is...
Okay, so now, see, this is what I'm talking about. She's talking about something else, and then now I think she's talking about what supposedly happened with Jason.
Actually what happens to me. These are the instances. That's why I woke up with fucking ejaculate in my fucking hand. Not that I detach sometimes. That time I totally did. That time...
What time is she talking about? I'm so confused. I really am curious because I don't know what the hand part is, because she said with Jason it was like on her stomach. It was so gross, so I remember that.
That time with Jason I did as well. The fact of it is that there are times where I'm in and out of consciousness and I know something's going on and I play dead like a fucking possum. Yeah, this can't be happening.
Oh, you bitch, man. You've got to learn to stand up and fight for yourself. What the heck? Don't you get tired? It's almost like... I mean, I still would have a soft spot, but at the same time, it's like, what are you doing? Like, get up. Like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. That's like if someone's sitting there kicking your ass and you're just curled up. Get your ass up and knock them out. At least don't go down without a fight. What the heck? Is your bed made?
Almost.
Okay, we'll go finish it and I'm going to do this.
Okay, it only needs 2 more feet.
Okay. Sorry, I had to wait for her to get out.
Happening. I'm not there psychologically. I detach because it's too much trauma. I've already lived through that since I was a kid. I don't need any more. You know? So, what has been
obviously
caused
you do.
throughout my life?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, and everyone who knows me and listens to my channel, y'all know how I feel with everything. And I'm very compassionate, and I really do try. But now I'm getting really aggravated with the whole this stuff. I don't understand. Like, it's kind of like almost whenever I remember my dad used to tell me whenever I was little, if you ever get into a fight or if someone ever hits you and I find out you did not hit them back, you're going to get your ass whooped. So that's just what's like. It doesn't, which, I mean, I guess there's people like that. So I to me it may not make sense. To her it may make perfect sense, but it just infuriates me because I'm like, if I don't know, I don't know. I'm going to try to just stop because I don't want to downplay anything that happened. I just don't understand after so many things happen, especially if you get so tired of it, then how can you just take it? I don't know. I really hope she stops talking about this crap altogether, honestly.
All the trauma, all the sexual abuse that I get from the authorities and stuff, people are like, well, you're not pretty enough. Well, I have my fucking teeth. There's a huge fucking difference. And in the South,
What?
teeth are like gold. All right? So, because the majority of these people don't have any. And then all the ones that do have it, they end up going off and living somewhere else because they know how shitty this fucking town is, or this state of Arkansas. And they're not educated well. So anybody that has their teeth is pretty much from a better family, a decent family. And everyone who doesn't have their teeth is from a bunch of moron inbred, ingrates. It's the truth. Or do meth and do all this nonsense. So, yeah. And then I'm not denouncing that my brother has done meth and everything, my brothers and whatnot, but they knew when to stop, and that's why they still have their fucking teeth. So, yeah. I've never tried it. I've never tried any hard drugs, so I don't understand why I keep getting reprimanded like everyone else, right? I thought there was certain, classifications of people. So you already knew that I was one that was overly educated. I've gone to college. I've had a few years of
Child, you are not overly educated, okay? Again, there's a difference between being confident and being just so freaking full of yourself. It's disgusting. Just stop.
of fucking college, so I know better. I know a little bit about the way that you respond too, because I had more classes in high school and everything, advanced courses, biology, chemistry.
Man.
I didn't take any physics, but I just naturally knew a little bit about physics, and the fact that I took all these other things, it just heightened my awareness to my surroundings and everyone and how stupid everything is. I already knew not to expect anything from like the wish list that I made off of Amazon, and I didn't expect that they would be able to tamper with it so well that they could manipulate stating that they purchased it. But I was told this morning, and this is what got me off on my depression.
Okay, so this is it. I'm surprised. I mean, for her being so smart, while she was making, bless you, while she was making the video, while she was making the registry, I'm surprised she wasn't playing around with it and seeing, like, because whenever I went to the registry, it wasn't hard to find. So I'm just surprised she didn't see and was like, okay, like, people can mark it as purchased. I don't know. I wish she was smart enough to either pick up on that or just kind of look at it. Just so she wouldn't have gotten her hopes up. Especially whenever it was like almost everything was supposedly purchased, I would have been like, okay, something's up, and I would have looked at it, just because unfortunately she, does get trolled, and even though she's acting gritty, it doesn't, I don't think it gives anyone the reason to do something like that. I mean, if you think, which I agree, she was being greedy, but I left it at that, like, just because she's being greedy doesn't mean that you go on there and you mark everything as purchased so she gets her hopes up and all that. She has a baby inside of her. Like, I really wish people would think of the bigger picture right now and just stop being like online bullies, okay? Like, there's like a real live baby that most of us actually care about, and we're just trying to make sure it gets out alive and healthy and goes somewhere that's safe and with a loving family. So clearly everyone knows she's not mentally okay, so she really does not need anyone else to push her anymore, because the baby's gonna get that.
depression, like in that way. Who would want to fuck with someone that they don't know? If you're that much of a fucking psychopath, if you have nothing else better to do than to lift somebody's hopes up and then drop it, you know, that is the sickest fucking thing, and you should be dead right now. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like, it's not me that's hurting the world. It's people like you that get people's hopes up and gaslight them and hurt them and then turn around and you don't give them shit as compensation. Like, that's the same shit that happened in Hot Springs, Arkansas. No one fucking believed me. No one fucking, oh, the officer, you don't fucking know these people. There wasn't a fucking camera except for in my home, and I know the feds could have accessed that at any moment, so they have the fucking proof. They know what the fuck happened. They know it wasn't right. So, the fact of it is that, like, I'm not getting compensated. I should have had lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, because even getting kicked out of that hospital, when I went, I only had pregnancy Medicaid at that time, 10 years ago. That's the only the only insurance that I had, so they treated me like fucking cattle like everyone else. I had a female gynecologist up until 37 weeks along.
They treated me like cattle like everyone else. Well, then you're just like everyone else then, huh? I forgot, you're better than everyone else. I don't know, I'm ready to listen to how she got kicked out of the hospital. Is this whenever she said, is this with the mail? No, this wasn't with, I don't know. Must be a different one.
And then they switched up, and there was one male that came in, and I told him no, that I wasn't going to let him do a vaginal check. And he got pissed off, and he fired me from the fucking clinic. I couldn't go anymore. And when I called around to try to seek placement at another clinic, they said that I was too far along to transfer my care. So they totally left me for dead.
No,
like that.
No. Bullshit.
That's how they treated the situation. And he told me, if I can't look at you, no one can. And I said, I'm sorry, I've never even met you. The way that he walked into the room, too, my ex-husband was there as a witness, but we were only dating.
Okay, I'm sorry, but, like, even if that was true, like, why wouldn't you report him? I try to, like, connect with her so much, but at the same time have to constantly call out her bullshit. It's the weirdest thing. And I thought my relationship with Heather was bad. Like, this is just, it's just like that one friend where you can't say anything to. They're always going to be just negative and not make sense and come up with something. And, you know, the one that's, like, so toxic you just can't be friends with anymore.
Dating at the time. He walked in and he said, have you managed to stop smoking the marijuana? And I was like, yeah, if you can tell by the records, it states there that I stopped smoking after my first visit. And so, like, he pissed me off right a fucking way. Then he tells, and I told him, I said, well, I'll let the nurse do the vaginal check, but I won't let you. And he said, and he was like, no, you know, if I can't, then no one can. I don't give a fuck how many years you've been fucking whatever. That's against my constitutional rights, and I should have been able to fucking sue at that point. Because you violated me and you endangered my child by forcing, and then they found out I had preeclampsia. No one else had done the fucking research. So by the time I had gone to a clinic, because I cried and cried to the nurse that was there.
Aw, I thought you said you couldn't. I thought you said nobody could see you because you're too far along.
That had seen me all that time. She knew I was a wonderful person. I might have just been depressed from the situation, not wanting to get, stuck having children by a fucking Arkansan. That was depressing, and it was so humiliating for me to get with my ex-husband. He probably thought, oh yeah, she's obsessed with me, she blah, blah, blah. No, like, I didn't want to get with anyone from the South because I knew the temperament, the stupidity behind it, the lack of education.
Excuse me? I don't think you want to mess with anybody from the South. And we don't really consider Arkansas part of the South.
The lack of, just all of it. Just all of it. the intelligence levels, just all of it. I couldn't have conversations with people. My ex-husband just kept his mouth shut all the time, and that's how we managed. And I'm just thinking, like, oh my God, like, is this my fucking life? So it was a good thing that he went off and raised her in a terrible way, because then she's going to reflect on that and realize, holy shit, there's so much out there that even my mother knew, that, you know, my father had no idea how enraged I am due to all of this, due to his own family, due to him not stepping up and actually being a man. The same thing with the father of this child. So, and yeah, seven fucking months pregnant. Like, that's nice to look at. Nasty, disgusting body. Nice. So, 7 months pregnant. I have 9 weeks to go. I was looking forward to seeing if I did get anything in the mail from the Amazon wish list, but I'm not holding my breath, because majority of those items were purchased by like 5 different individuals, which I thought was odd at first. I thought, well, what are they, just rich people who have nothing else better to do with their time and efforts, just to try to help some fucking crazy girl that doesn't want to even live right now, because half the time people are always just fucking with her.
Okay, if you want people to donate to you, you're making people not want to donate to you now, the way that you're talking about yourself. Supposedly a couple people did buy something for her, but I mean, I'm sure there was something just like small, you know. Well, not like just small, but not like a crib and a playpen and a car seat and all the really, you know, expensive stuff, you know.
And just want her dead anyway. So, yeah, the story is fucking huge. Like, I wish I could be a fucking quadruple fucking millionaire bullshit, because this shit's not okay. What has happened to me is not okay, and I just kept my mouth shut. I thought they were just going to go ahead and do the right thing. But after 6 years of being away from my daughter, they allowed my ex-husband to forge paperwork in the divorce and for him to go off and remarry and everything after he lured me under the guise. Everything's going to be okay. They didn't even have me at the divorce hearing. Like, that is a red flag. You should have known better. You should have known who you were dealing with. You should have known what had happened. I was under severe, you know, I should have been under supervision due to my mental health because of all the fucking abuse that I was sustaining from the marital, just the marital trauma. All, you know, the marital.
Yeah, this whole thing confuses me with the divorce court and why she didn't go. Now she's saying that she was just so, you know, abused and traumatized and whatever. Again, for someone being so smart, it's so dumb. If you have court, you have to go. If you don't go, you're pretty much just giving your rights away. You're pretty much saying, okay, just whatever he wants. And then another time she said that she was drugged up, I guess like on psyche meds or something. And then her mom, she was saying something like, oh, it was my fault. I told her she shouldn't go or something. I don't know. It was just weird. It's all weird. I feel, in my opinion, I think that she thought that if she did not go, then they would be like, oh, well, she didn't make it, so we're going to have to postpone for another day. I think that's what she thought it was.
Issues. So, and we didn't have counseling. They went ahead and they took it as me being a violent person, that I did all this and that, and I was the one that did everything. No, I didn't. I didn't seek this out. I was looking for people that were compassionate, that were loving, that were being truthful and honest, and no one is genuine in this day and age. No one is as transparent as me, I guess. Because I don't care about offering all the information that I have harbored in my body and my soul to anyone around me, including the people that psychopaths that try to manipulate that, or to steal my ideas and to make money off of them, like the people that take clips of my videos and are making plenty of money of their own, yet it doesn't come back trickling around to me.
Hey. I'm not making money off of your videos. I'm not. I'm not making money at all. Well, I mean, at my job, but not on these videos. And actually, hey, will you do me a favor? Will you get my chocolate milk? Yeah. And honestly, if it wasn't for us, you probably wouldn't have as many subscribers and watchers that you have. And I know people on my channel, we care about that baby, so that's why we're here. Thank you.
And I don't care, because it's their karma. It's whatever they do choose to do with it. If they want to be, backhanded in that way, if they want to use people and walk all over people, they know the repercussions when it comes to passing over into the other life. They know that it is not good. If you've lived a terrible life, you can't just apologize on your deathbed and it's going to be hunky-dory. You're going to be made to suffer. That's how it is. That's why I changed really early on. And that's why even as a child, I was such a good little girl, because I knew to listen. I knew that even going to the Catholic school, I was
Okay, well, obviously she forgot a lot about it, because how she's talking and what she's doing, and what does she think? God agrees with everything she's saying and doing to that baby? Saying his name in vain?
privileged compared to most. So I knew to respect my elders. I knew also that there were times where, the way that I acted looked really bad for other people. And they didn't understand the underlying psychological issues that I was suffering from, due to the fact that I had to harbor so many secrets, that I had to harbor so many resentments toward the truth, toward what has really happened in my story, what has really happened to me, why I was violated so many times, because I just allowed them to walk all over me, and no one had offered any compensation. It's been 6 years since I've seen my daughter. 6 years. And people don't even know how much that hurts when you breastfeed a child for over a year.
Okay, so you're like so emotional, and you're like, oh, I breastfed her for a year. But didn't you set her crib on fire? Where was your emotions then? If you really wanted to be a part of her life, you would have fought for it. And obviously they had some damning evidence to find you not fit at all. It is very hard for a father to get 100% full custody. I don't know what happened. Like, surely you could have done something to see that child. Whether it was supervised, whether you had to take classes, whether you had to take tests. They usually don't just rip the child away from the mother that quickly, that easily. They usually give you chance, like a few chances, honestly. I don't know. No one really knows besides, I guess, her and her husband.
You put that much effort into your baby. You feed her an organic diet. She had no sugar in her smash cake.
Oh my fucking gosh. I can't with the food shit. That does not make you a good mom. Are you freaking kidding me? She did that crap whenever she was doing the video with her son. I don't even want to say her son. The baby. She was like all high and mighty because he's a vegan baby. Oh yeah, she was saying, everyone's used to seeing fat babies, but she has a vegan baby, so it's just like, And she's like, oh, I loved her. I took care of her. Her smash cake didn't have any sugar in it. What? That doesn't make you a good mom. Golly. Let's talk about our crib. Let's talk about the fire.
Cake, the little cake that she got for her birthday, I didn't want her being contaminated by all that stuff. And what did he do? He went off and gave her chocolate, gave her, chicken nuggets from McDonald's, French fries, all the trash, because that's what he wanted her to be. Trash. Just like
gosh.
her family, the family she stems from,
Wow.
the Cullens. He wanted her to be just like all of them. Fucking distorted, on medications, not knowing how to exercise, not knowing any of this stuff. I had tried when I was down here. When I first got down here, I would smoke weed and just go to school. I was going to college. I was doing all these things all on my own. But then when I got involved with other humans, when I thought other men, like when I thought men were being genuine, men wanted to be with me, they wanted to help me succeed, they wanted to see me grow, they didn't want to hurt me, they made it out to be like I was so special. That's what hurt the most, because I thought for sure I wasn't getting fucking taken advantage of. I thought for sure these people were truly caring. But then I had to look in the mirror and I realized, holy shit, you're not even like a 5. You're like a 2. Like, those big-ass ears, those, big-ass nose you have, the weird, skin that you have, the wrinkle here that, never goes away on your face, the wrinkles on your forehead now, the way your hair, curls up into horns when you're sleeping and everything, the way that you have this crooked tooth and this crooked tooth, because of that one, the way that your boobs are all saggy now, the way that everything. I had to realize, year by year, how ugly, progressively hideous I was. That's why I didn't try to date seriously. I didn't try to date anyone seriously.
Groundbreaking or the
I swear, what did I do? I hope I just pressed. She confuses me all the time. Because, like the other day, she was just like, whenever I don't want to be messed with and bothered, I just, put on regular clothes and I don't put makeup on. Because, oh my gosh, if she puts makeup on, like, oh, people are so after her. And now she's being all depressed and talking negatively about herself.
Today is June 29th, 2022.
Oh, I have to go back. How did I even get here?
And how much it takes me to get to a heightened state. Use that I get from the authorities and stuff. People are that they could manipulate, stating work in the divorce, and for him to go off and remarry and everything after he knowing any of this stuff. I had tried when I was down here. When I first got down here, I would smoke weed. The thing with these officers that keep dealing with me, you think you want and everything, the way that you have this crooked tooth and this crooked tooth, because of that one.
Sorry, guys.
Everything. I had to realize, year by year, how ugly, progressively hideous I was. That's why I didn't try to date seriously. I didn't try to date anyone seriously. That's why when the father came along, I thought, well, you're a loser. I'm a loser too. He sure as fuck seemed like a loser to me. I was joking around with my brother yesterday about how he just got out of a fucking card game and I told my brother, I was laughing about it. I was like, yeah, I really didn't think he had the nerve to go that far to fuck me in my sleep like that. And then it made me feel like shit because this little fucking scrawny ass piece of shit fucking fucked me in the middle of the night. I don't give a fuck what people think about my opinions. I don't care.
What? None of that. I'm so confused. I don't understand why did she. Well, I mean, it's a pattern. Because I was about to say, I don't understand why she got married to this guy if he was so horrible. But then I remember how much she liked Jason until after he, I guess, what is it? I guess he filed a report saying that she filed a false report. I'm assuming. Did he do a RO too? I don't know. But then after all that happened, after she got arrested, then she got really mad, and then she like, he's crazy, he's ugly, he's a piece of shit, his teeth, like, everything.
I don't give a fuck. I've been traumatized. I don't give a fuck. I will not respect you. I will not offer you fucking any semblance of fucking godly respect in that way. You were ungodly to me. So that's how it is. And the same thing with these officers that keep dealing with me. You think you want respect from me or that you deserve it, but you don't. So I'm going to tell you like it is. When I first moved down here too, they wanted me to say, sir. You say sir. And I'm like, fuck no I don't. I'm from the fucking north. So, people need to understand there's differences in dialect. It wasn't that I was being disrespectful. It was that I was confronting you with the issues in themselves, and you shouldn't have taken it out on me. But instead, I was so smart.
You can still be respectful in confronting issues. Just a heads up.
You thought I was trying to manipulate some shit. No, you're just a bunch of dummies is what you is. Don't know how to investigate properly, and you can't even do nothing, can you? You want me to get on to you like that? You want me to talk to you like you talk to me? Because I can totally do that, because I've harbored those resentments for years.
Because I can totally do that. Oh my gosh, she is so crazy, man. I wish so bad I could watch her court this month.
I've harbored that pain, that suffering. All these fucking nonsense of people. You fired me from a clinic because I wouldn't allow a man down there. Okay, that's illegal. Alright? You fucking forced me in cuffs at one point, told me I was disorderly conduct because I was banging on the door of this fucking dude's house that he fucking knocked me up. We had been together, and you fucking shoved me on the ground, face down, body on top of me, 12 weeks pregnant. That's how they dealt with me. So, and I don't make this shit up. This shit happened. That's why I'm traumatized. That's why I decided to abort the baby, because I knew that the authorities didn't even want it. So, the same thing where I knew that this baby was going to be in danger because his father was from the military, and I was speaking out about all the fucking rapists in the military.
Okay, so is she talking about, like, another time? Is she talking about whenever she had that other abortion? This is so sad. Oh. I wish people like this just were not able to have kids. And it's so sick that she thinks, like, that's true. Because she's like, oh, I would never put my baby up for adoption because people, if they can't have kids, then they're not supposed to have kids. And I was like, oh, I wish. Because so many of y'all, I freaking wish that was the case. Because you would have never gotten pregnant. So this is what, her third pregnancy that we know of? She aborted one, had one, and prayers for this one.
In the military. So, I know there's targets everywhere. I know not to trust anyone. I know even some of the things where it said that these Amazon wish list items were purchased elsewhere. That doesn't seem right. I knew from the beginning there, only like 4 or 5 of the items were purchased from Amazon. So I know that those are viable ones more than likely. But the other ones, questionable. And why would people do this stuff? Because they want to stick to their own. They want to try to hide their secrets for this long. We all know the truth is out. There's stories out there. There's plenty of stories that, corroborate this entire event of my entire life and how I've been shoved down and how I was forced to keep my mouth shut. I mean, I'm just waiting at any time for, like, the feds to come in and be like, we got this, and we got your, what are you going to do?
Has she ever dealt with the feds? Why does she think she is so important that the feds are just waiting for her? I wish they were. Unfortunately, no one's taking you seriously. And it's really pissing me off. It's like I'm excited for her court date, but then I'm also kind of scared because if it's something that I'm not going to be happy with, Oh
Gonna do? Falsify like a crime scene now? Just to try to get me all fucked up in it?
my gosh, stop. She does that all the time. So many times. She thinks they're going to, like, take a piece of her hair or her freaking nail and place it at a murder crime scene and try to arrest her for murder. And it's like, it makes you wonder, are you capable? Are you capable of murder? I mean, supposedly you did kill puppies. You froze them to death. That's just fucking horrific. I mean, you had an abortion. I know that's different. I know people have different opinions about that. But the things that you threatened with your baby, even after he was born, even while he was in the like, I don't know. I just find it really weird that she always goes back to, they will probably try to frame her for a murder. Because it's like, where do you get this from? Then it's like, should we be worried?
That's why I try to fucking take pictures of everything I do and everywhere I'm at and everyone I talk to and make sure I've got names down so that you can just shove it up your fucking asses. So, but yeah, I'm trying. You know, I'm trying really hard. I have no hope right now. I have absolutely no hope left in me. There's nothing. I had some sandwiches today I made this morning. They were delicious. Do I feel happy? No. I'm very, very, very sad. I'm so sad for the state of the world. I'm so sad for the state of this reality for Leticia. Like, I'm scared for myself. I really am. Sometimes I talk about myself in the third party because I feel like I'm detached from this being. This being seems like she can't get anybody to help or assist her or love her in the way that humans are supposed to. And I'm just like in and out, like whatever. That's why I sleep so much, because I can't handle this reality. This makes no sense. There's no way that in her entire life she's placed so much effort into just being genuinely kind, because that's what she was born on earth to do. And I wasn't born here to take things. Like, hardly ever was I like that, but they encouraged me to go to school. I wanted to learn. I wanted to pick up things. If it were offered freely in that way, I went for it. And that's how it is. If it's offered freely, then sure. But, and if it's out of pure kindness and out of generosity in that way. But otherwise...
Oh my gosh, the whole in that way. Oh gosh. I wonder when her next appointment is. What is it? Is it like once a month or is it once? Look at her eyes. Is it like every couple weeks? It's like the further you get along, the more you have to go. I wonder if she got her results back yet. Oh, man.
Yeah. So, there are some people that message me with good things and they warn me. And then there are other people that message me and they say some really terrible things. And there was also a transcript that they wanted me to read. Some lady, I blocked her already, so she can't email me anymore. And she told me about, at the end of the transcript, there was something for my mom. There was like a positive comment that I could relay to my mother because she's tripping out because everybody's seen her saggy boobs. And I was like, Mom, you're getting older. Like, it's okay. You're still beautiful. I think you're beautiful. I'm sure there's plenty of men out there that would love to see you naked, and that's gross. But I don't know. And I try to make it out to be like, it's not even about that. It's not about your being. It's about who you are. And at some point, maybe there is someone out there that will love you for you and not for all the stresses that you've been through. And that's what caused your body to react in the way that it did, like mine did. It's just stress. So I try to be encouraging of her, and I love her. And I try to tell her all that stuff.
Oh my gosh. Why did you block the lady? What did the lady say? What did the transcript say?
She doesn't listen. So I got an email, and somebody said, well, there's a transcript here from a conversation and something about some, and I don't really care what the usernames are. The more I give them the benefit of that, like to expose their usernames, the worse it seems to get, and the worse it'll be for them, because I call them out by name.
Oh my gosh, can you just
and
tell
I
us?
would worry too if I were you. It's the people that hurt others, they end up getting theirs tenfold. So, they were having a discussion and something about a live chat with some rich guy, and I was like not paying attention because it's none of my business.
What?
And saying something about he likes me and whatever, and the only thing I saw in there was that he thinks my mom is pretty. Well, she used to be very pretty, like until the stress of the...
I thought you just said she was pretty. Now you're saying she used to be pretty? Until? Okay, I don't know what is that. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like fucking trolls.
So the world got to her. The same with me. I used to be very pretty, but now I'm not, because I'm fucking hideous. The world has distorted me. I wear all black for a reason. That's my soul dying every fucking day.
Gosh.
Every goddamn day. It's just sorrowful for the death in the world around me. Just so disheartened that nobody can manage, and then it's like, but it's not even a sorrowful thing. It's a pleasantry to have to to be able to pass over. That's why I have sought it for so long, because it's such a pleasurable feeling to pass and have to come back. But the pain of coming back is what, is daunting, and just it take you right off your fucking feet. Just the pain of having to come back into this body. So I've wished death upon myself for many years, because I can't stand what everyone has done to me. I can't stand living through the fact that all of this, they've got away with it. They got away with murder. They literally are forcing me into wanting to commit suicide, everyone, and not realizing that it's their own doing, not realizing it's because you falsified documents, that you stole from me, that you've robbed from me, left me for dead, emotionally scarred, physically scarred as well, like I've shown you the scar on the top of my foot, the scars on my body from being lugged around by other human beings. That was from an arrest. I've got a gaping hole in the top of my foot, a scar, or I had one. It was a gaping hole because they dragged.
I was going to say, it was not a gaping hole. He's not never really showed us. Were you being, was you resisting arrest? Was you being a little punk like you was in the shower, taking your sweet ass time and not listening? Or you could have accidentally tripped. I don't know. I mean, I've heard of some, obviously there's bad cops, good cops. I just think she is a storyteller. I do believe some things have happened. She just stresses me out.
Dragged me across pavement because they said that I was trespassing on my ex-husband's new property. First time I'd ever been on that fucking piece of shit. And then...
Okay, but then you were trespassing. If he told you to leave, then freaking leave. My gosh. And she probably already had a restraining order at that time, too.
And then they turned around and they did shit to me instead of realizing the entire situation. He robbed from me. My child is in there. She's being endangered. Her psychological well-being is being endangered because she's being raised by someone else. And she's not being raised by the woman that was putting forth more effort than the husband. So when she gets manipulated like that to that extreme, you know it's about money. You know that because he had purchased the most expensive attorney in town, and he used that, and to make him look like a victim, which he was not. I did everything for him. I would cook and clean for him, sucked his dick, that's how I was. I was extremely good to that man. Too good, and the fact of it is, it's these perversions, all they did was make me suffer more. I thought that I was in a stable marriage and that it was going to happen that way. Like, I'm Catholic, and that's where I stem from. That's my Catholicism. And so my morality is my moral structure is a lot more strict than most people because of the way that I was brought up, because my parents had been married until they divorced when I was 17. And even now, my mother is discussing trying to be with my father again.
Okay, so I've been waiting for this moment to figure out what's going on with the dad.
And I'm not sure how well that would go with the entire family because, he did abuse her. But yet she has not found anybody else to try to heal her heart.
So, I mean, I'm all for, like, love, okay? But, that's hard. I don't know how you could love someone and want someone back after they abused you so much, and then also your kids. Like, that's the worst part, is your kids. And then what? She just can't find anyone, so she wants him back? That doesn't sound good. I wonder if he's a registered sex offender. Is her brother one, or did he just, like, get caught with a 16-year-old? Because that's something else. I don't know if a baby can be at a house if there's registered sex offenders there. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
And that's the sad thing. And so when I was reading the transcript to trying to get some good compliments to share with her, I read through and it was just like them, of course, mocking me, saying how hideous I was and what a skank I was, but I'm not. I mean, there's been a few times in my life where I've sought the D, but it wasn't to an extreme. And that's why I kept myself as, like, that's why I don't even penetrate myself. Like, masturbation and that.
Okay, got it. I don't need to know any of that. I don't know. Like, going on a website, having cuddlers, having a rate that you charge, and driving hours away. I think that's pretty extreme.
In that way. Like, it's just not important to me. I wait for moments where I have a connection with someone. And that's special to me because I'm not fornicating with everyone. And having, even any kind of...
What happened?
Nothing.
No. Did you do something you're not supposed to do?
You draw
With what?
markers.
My markers? That you're not supposed to touch?
Yeah, I went Finley off. Finley didn't get messy.
No, but you're not supposed to use those markers because those markers are not for paper. I've told you this. You're not supposed to use those markers. Did you put them up?
Yeah.
Do not use them again. Do you understand me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I love you too. But don't mess with the markers. Y'all know better.
Okay. But we only have one crayon.
Well, you know how many crayons Mom has bought you? Exactly.
100 packs?
Probably. Y'all got to put them in the box and keep them together. Okay, y'all go play.
After you work, we have surprise for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Finley.
Is your bed done? I hope so. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I could tell my little one was trying to tell me something. So I was trying to figure out, I could tell something was up,
kind of oral sex or anything like that because I refrain. I try to hold off and be celibate as long as possible because I know that it's better for my body and my soul, my mind, my conscience. So I just feel like nobody understands me. There's so many people out there that, like even my mom, I discussed with them. I had seen uh, a person's account on, like, I don't know what it is, Venmo or like PayPal. They'll show you, they've got like where you can donate to other people now. And this man is a man. He asked for $20,000 to help him stay out of homelessness. And I tried to seek $500, and I never got it from GoFundMe. Just to help me with my car payment, to keep me from being homeless, like on the streets homeless. So he got $10,000 of the $20,000 that he was asking for so far. And I thought, wow, like, there's some people that get their blessings, and like, I actually have a real story, and I shouldn't be suffering through this, but I am, because everybody wants to make sure that they take.
Okay, well, you also don't know what that man's story is either. Like, golly, everything's not about you.
As much as possible from me. It makes for a good story. It makes for a good tale. But honestly, I should have sued a long time ago for a lot of these incidents that, people have taken advantage of me. So, and those aren't even just it. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much I have, yet to convey of all the interactions that I've had, certain individuals. That's why I try to keep track of people's faces now, so I know exactly who they are, regardless of what they say their names are. Because even officers will fuck with you, switching badges and whatever, things like that. And it used to happen. It was very prevalent back in the day when they were allowed to get rid of people and shove them into places. But now everyone knows everyone, and that's why social media is a beneficial thing, because at least we can share our stories individually and know who's actually fucking with us. And it is those higher ups that have too many privileges, essentially. If it makes you feel good to hurt others and to lock them away, then there's something psychologically wrong with you. And that's where we need to understand, like, we can't trust all officers, you can't trust all firemen, you can't trust all these people, because half the time they've got one life and then they're living another life, going off and fuck.
Well, I mean, that's just, you can't trust everybody. I mean, shoot, I don't really trust anybody. I mean, that's just how it goes. I would hope people, I'm sure there are, I know there's gullible people out there who think all people are good, especially like, oh, you're a counselor, all counselors are good, all police officers are good, all nurses are good, all doctors are good. No, that's not how it works. It's not. I mean, you cannot ever group anybody. Like, you have to, it's just an individual, That's why I just can't stand, like, racism or sexism or, it doesn't matter, like, where you come from, your skin color, your career, where you live, like, anything like that. That's like the only thing that I can agree with her on, pretty much, is there's a lot of people out there who have higher position jobs and they should not have them. That I can't agree with her on. But yeah, I mean, shoot. I don't care what you do. Most people, I mean, I don't know, you have to earn my trust. It's really hard for me to trust people. I don't trust strangers. I couldn't drive to go meet people either, to go cuddle, even for $80 an hour. Just for the record. FTR.
Fucking little boys. And you see it on TV all the time, but it's the truth. These people are sick and deranged. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. They lust after their stepdaughters. They do all kinds of stuff. It's sick. And then just because they have their foot in the door in whatever system, That's how they get away with it. And that's still considered sex and human trafficking. Still is. Same concept. So, yeah, because you just destroyed someone's life. Usually an innocent little girl or an innocent little boy. And I'm living proof of all of that as well, because all the trauma I've sustained and still managed to survive and share my story.
And this is what drives me absolutely crazy. You're talking about all this shit that you're going through, and I had to go through this, but look what you are doing to your son. You're trying to hurt your son in so many ways by even, physically, the way that you talk about him, what you call him, what you want to name him, because you say he's a demon child and you're naming him after people who's raped you. That's so disgusting. How do you expect people to feel bad for you whenever you're doing this to your own child?
Story. That's why I don't know how relevant it is for other people, but I say stand up for yourself. Always speak your mind. It doesn't matter. God will protect you. And
what? This is what I was talking. I told you to stick up for yourself, all these times whenever you were, getting essayed and everything like that. How come you don't do it then? And I don't want to hear anyone saying anything like, oh no, she's cute. Just shut it.
And that's what happens essentially for me constantly. I know that there are so many people fighting for my soul, over my soul, in that way. I felt it years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Where the good versus evil, what is she? And I'm actually good.
No, you're not.
I've been made to look as though I'm evil. And I did a few things that were, ungodly, unspeakable, like the abortion that I had done that ended up eating away at my conscience more than anything else. And that's where it just weighs you down in that way. And I just have to realize that at some point I will be forgiven. And I seek that penance every day. Everyone says, God does forgive you. And I say, well, no, I have to strive for better, because if I don't realize that every day and humble myself, I may suffer through the same pain over again. So it's about confronting your fears. It's about confronting the pain. And like my psychologist was saying about walking where the pain was not, it also makes sense as well. But you have to be confrontational with the pain first, and then it can pass, and then moving toward the positive and everything. So I just feel like no one understands me. I'm just going about my business, and I finally feel a little bit better now that I've relayed some of my emotions. So now I feel well enough. My camera stopped working on my fucking computer. Now I've got to reload it because why? I was trying to do a live stream and they didn't want me to access my camera at the time.
Oh my gosh, I knew that was coming. Oh gosh, such a Heather thing to say. They did not want you to access it.
There's all kinds of shit that could happen in a live stream that they can't manage. So that's why they wait for me to do my videos, and then I upload them so that they can, so that they can examine it, for anything that might be detrimental to them. Because I know there are certain parts of my story they understand, they feel sorry for, that they don't understand, why it went to this extreme and why I had to speak out in this way. And it is my freedom of speech, so if anything were to happen to me, they know also that they would be targeted first, and it would be like the feds and the authorities and everyone that knew. I kept telling my mom, I said, you do realize that they arrested me when I shut off the power to my house, right? The mobile home I lived on Elkhorn Loop. I shut the power off there, and that's when they showed up in my yard shortly thereafter, because they knew they couldn't monitor me that well if I wasn't running electric to my home. And that's exactly what it is, the electronics that monitor everything, whether or not they're being accessed, how much is...
Sorry, I was saying I had to add something to my cart on Amazon, but then I'm like, bad timing. What did she just say about her power? And
in this way, and it is my freedom of speech. So if anything were to happen to me, they know also that they would be targeted first, and it would be like the feds and the authorities and everyone that knew. I kept telling my mom, I said, you do realize that they arrested me when I shut off the power to my house, right? The mobile home I lived on El.
Okay, sorry, bless me. Okay, so she thinks people were after her because she turned off her power? She turned off her power?
Loop. I shut the power off there, and that's when they showed up in my yard, shortly thereafter, because they knew they couldn't monitor me that well if I wasn't running electric to my home. And that's exactly what it is, the electronics that monitor everything, whether or not they're being accessed, how much is being, depleted, all that. Everything is being tracked and traced, the amount of water, everything. So if you're harboring someone in your home, all this stuff. And so they have access to people's information everywhere, and that's why I told people years ago, you shouldn't do that. My mom will tell you, she went around with her hands on her hips and pointing the finger at everyone, you shouldn't do that because they're watching, and it's not just God. It's not just the universal code. It's not God.
Oh, man.
It's these people under them that think they're gods. And so, yeah, I have a lot of shit to share because most people don't see it from my perspective. They're like, you're a woman, grow up. No, I'll never grow up. I lost myself years ago in that way. Like, I'll always have that childishness and always burst into tears if somebody is hurting me and everything. And I'll sit there and I'll just watch them now and just out of shock and fear after so many years. It's like I'm a toddler still. It's kind of like that. It's like I'm a child and people still have to guide me. I know how to maintain myself, but if ever anything happens that's too traumatic, I just can't function at that time. It's scary. I don't like to deal with the world. It's horrifying. People killing other people, doing shit to themselves. That guy in the cell shoving paper in his pee hole. I can't do it. I can't. Sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, what is going on? My mom, her belly button is wide open in the inside right now, and it's like seeping out. And I told her we should go to the emergency room. If it were any of one of us kids, we should go. And she's in denial that anything is wrong. You can literally see her insides through her belly button. And I told her, I said, that's not okay. They didn't suture that up properly. There's something wrong. So they do this shit to everybody. They get away with it. They're like murdering my mom in that way, knowing that she just needs diet and exercise and quit pumping her full of fucking medications. She can do it. She just needs something to live for. And apparently there's nothing to live for, not even this child, because getting her hopes up in that way of like, oh, I've got everything taken care of. No, I don't. None of this stuff is in the mail. I don't see this shit. Am I gonna get it before my fucking court date? Fuck no. People are like that. They get your hopes up for nothing. Do I give a shit? No. I would rather be in prison for the principle of the thing, knowing that they're gonna get their karma afterward. It'll be
well, I hope, damn it. I'll say, hope you're ready, but I forgot. I don't know if she's actually gonna be sentenced. Oh, my goodness gracious. Can't she at least... What's the point? What's the point of... I mean... So if she falsified a police report, she filed, okay. We know what she did. Okay. What's the whole point? What is the whole point? She goes to jail for 2 days, bonds out, has to go to court, and then that's it? I'm gonna be so pissed off. Like, what type of, justice is that? Like, what kind of punishment is that? What kind of, she can't do things and just get away with it. Like, she should have a repercussion for that. You don't need juice. We're about to go to bed.
Where, Mommy?
I wish she would at least go long enough to where she's incarcerated. Y'all know what I want. So she has to have the baby in a hospital. I just wish there was already a parent, a family lined up for her. Well, for the baby, so that way the baby didn't have to go in the system and go into foster care. They could just go straight home to a loving family. But no, she's freaking disgustingly selfish. Like, just like she just wants to hurt the baby even more. And give him a horrible name and put him in the system. Like, how you just, like, can you at least love him enough to do that?
Be 10 times fucking worse for them in the long run. So that's why I don't care. If I have to sit it out in prison, if I have to come out with a fucking mark of saying that I'm a fucking felon, that's just more I can sue for eventually. But honestly, I don't want to do that. Who the fuck wants to do that? Especially to a woman that's going to give birth. You people are insane. Like, the fact that you would go to that extreme makes you look crazy. It makes you look fucking childish, and it makes you look demented and schizophrenic and psychotic. Because who the fuck does that shit to a normal fucking person? All she wants is her fucking daughter back. That's all I fucking asked for in this entire fucking thing. Nobody did it.
Yeah, you have a son that could be your turnaround that you're just completely ignoring and treating like trash.
And here we are. So, I don't know. Maybe things are getting kind of good. Maybe the story's just getting good. And we'll see what the fuck happens July 25th if they want to go to that extreme of trying to shove me back in the fucking hole again just to shut my story up. And like I told everyone about getting sexually abused and the fucking orderlies at the fucking psychiatric hospital while I was still married. My ex-husband, he would be there visiting. I remember that time. Those 2 black orderlies. I don't mean to say it like that either, but they weren't doing their fucking jobs right when they were telling me to finger myself in the fucking shower. So that's traumatic.
What?
And not okay. But, you know, everybody gets away with everything, don't they? They just get away with murder. Murdering someone, causing them to commit suicide. Nobody ever actually gets out there, is able to convey their story fully and, you know, to the fullest extent of the law. Right? 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 I mean, 'cause in God we trust. Right? Right? Do you swear an oath on the Bible? Right? 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 Is that right? Is that right? Is that right? Because I thought that's what you did before you became officers and judicial figures. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But you paid to ruin people's lives like my life because you didn't do proper investigation. You didn't know where I stemmed from. You didn't know that I was a good person and that I had good grades because you had no files down here aside from whatever records you made up about disorderly conduct.
That literally has nothing to do with anything. Where you came from, the grades that has nothing to do with it. It does not.
And, you know, disturbing the peace or whatever the hell happened in the courtroom that day when you ripped my daughter away from me by one fucking hand, me hanging on to her. You could have damaged her fucking arm, because she was only 2 at that time. Yanked her away from me because I said the words, okay. Okay, that's taking your fucking power to an extreme, isn't it? And you've done that to me this entire time I lived in fucking Hot Springs. 15 fucking years so far. And I don't like it. I don't expect it should be happening much longer because I should be owning your fucking asses after all this shit. After you assaulting innocent, disabled people that just weren't classified as disabled until recently. The moment I would clarify I was disabled, they would back the fuck up and they would drop things.
No,
yeah,
they wouldn't.
You need to
Oh my
realize,
gosh.
check yourself, because all the trauma you've caused me could make me act out and stab you in the fucking eye or the jugular with any fucking thing around me. And I know how to...
See, do y'all like how she just used that as an excuse? Oh, I'm crazy. Sorry. I'm disabled. You should have looked that up. This is the shit that I'm talking about where she knows better, but she just doesn't fucking care.
How to kill people. Like, I know I wasn't taught personally. Act out and stab you in the fucking eye or the jugular with any fucking thing around me. And I know how to kill people. Like, I know I wasn't taught personally. I've seen plenty of things happen. Plus, my dad taught me a lot of stuff growing up because he wasn't necessarily violent, but he taught me how to defend myself properly. Give me a fucking pen. Yeah, I filed my fucking nails off, so I feel very vulnerable right now. But at the same time, I know there are defenses that I have naturally, that there are some people that don't want to fuck with me. I've choked some people out before. I had to. And it was as a teenager. I'm sure they have the CCTV of that outside of my fucking high school, where the little boy was picking on my brother. I went up, choked his ass out, picked his ass up, and shoved him against the wall. Sure, I was younger then. Sure, I was strong at that point too, but then I lost myself, and now I'm back to that point, and I will strangle someone at this stage of my fucking stress, this stage of hormonal. Like, any man, yeah, yeah, I would be weary.
See, isn't it crazy how earlier on in the video she was talking about, well, plenty of times she's always saying how they're probably going to try to place her, something of hers at the crime scene, like a murder crime scene, and then try to charge her for murder. And then now here we are at the end of the video, and she's talking about things that she can do and will do and could do and knows how to do, and what the kind of makes you wonder.
Area of even trying to fucking approach me and tell me things about myself that's positive, because after I give birth to this child, more than likely I'm going to leave it at the hospital because I can't deal with this. I can't. There's no father to it. Like, that's deranged. I can't do it. I laugh. I'm like, there's no way. Unless I was paid for, everything was paid for and whatever, and I had to deal with this psychologically, the fact that there is no father.
Are you fucking kidding me? That is so sick. Like, just saying that alone is like, yeah, bitch, fuck you. I could never say, yeah, I'm not having this baby unless people are paying me. Unless there's a father and I'm being compensated. Are you freaking kidding me? That's a freaking blessing. I wouldn't need nobody. Like, oh my gosh. I know this sounds like psycho, but I wish I could just go up to the hospital and be like, hey, girl. Hey. And then just, like, take the baby home. I wonder if you could get away with that. Like, pretend that she's just taking it home, but then you just take it home. Y'all agree? I know. It's like a crazy story. Just makes me I get so aggravated. I'm so, like, just wrapped up in this, and I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Because then I'm gonna, like, then I think about, like, what if I don't know what happens? I have to freaking rely on this crazy bitch to tell me how the labor went, how the delivery went, where the baby ended up. And then there's going to come a point where she's not even going to know anymore. And then I'm never going to know where this poor little baby ends up. I'm just going to have to hope and pray that it goes. I mean, I guess as sad as it is, I know babies get adopted more easier than the older kids, which is very sad. But at least I can, have that. Just know that him being a baby, just hope and pray it's actual loving family who wants the baby and who loves the baby and who's not just, like, fostering him for a fucking check.
Father to this baby, I'm being eaten away from. My conscience is eating away at me. Like, what the fuck, Leticia? This wasn't meant to happen, except that was the devil seeking whatever he needed through your godliness. Because I gave it to God when I left that fucking place. I said, God, I don't have the money for this fucking plan B. Is it going to be okay? He was like, yeah, bitch, let's go for it. Like, that's how it went. In my fucking head, it wasn't like, yeah, bitch. It was like, yeah, I'll take care of you. God will always take care of me. So, but what the fuck? This is Satan, like, living inside of me through the fucking semen of this jackass that just fucking came in me one time, like I met one time. And that's fucking the devil right there. That's the fucking devil.
I wish I could just, like, go through the screen right now. Stop talking about your baby like that and how it was conceived. And stop freaking acting like we don't know that it was consensual. I mean, it happened a couple of times. So stop playing.
So, yeah. I don't even know what to say about this shit anymore because I'm like, what the fuck? And I said about demons and angels breeding together. I get that. Like, I understand that. But does that mean that this child needs to suffer through all of that? No, not necessarily. Like, I don't think that it would have made him such a heightened fucking whatever.
A heightened what? I'm so over this damn word. Like, why are you putting him through this? Why can't you, like, live by me? We'll be taking some road trips.
It's just gonna make him fucking distorted, make him psychologically ill, emotionally traumatized, and without any father. Nobody understands. Like, they see it from, like, I'm crazy. You want to kill your baby for... No, I want to kill it to save it. Because if it's born into this world as a toxic being like that, then it's marked for the rest of its fucking life. It's true. It's fucking true. This shit has been around for years. That's why the Illuminati gets away with whatever they fucking get away with and everything, because they have certain rules and regulations, and that's why I fucked up.
This has nothing to do with the Illuminati. Unless, like, you're trying to be part of it, something, no. No. Poor little baby. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't stand her.
Up years ago, and I understand that, and it's like, oh, sorry, got out of line. But hardly ever do I any other time. So please, can I just get some fucking, respect for having to live in this fucking trash-ass world, in this fucking reality where everyone takes advantage of me and you can't trust anyone? So yeah, that's how it is. Forget about trusting people. They don't exist. Their minds are set somewhere else. They want to prosper within themselves, and they're not going to help anybody out. I'm gonna get off here. I'm thirsty as fuck. I'm gonna go eat some more. I slept all day. I didn't brush my teeth, didn't brush my hair, obviously. Didn't get dressed, none of it. Because I'm sad, because they had to, like, lure me down reading all that for one comment from my mom. And none of it makes sense. I don't give a fuck about rich dudes. I don't give a fuck about anybody. If you got money, that's good for you. I don't have money, that's fine. I'm fine with it, and I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. Yes, money fixes everything, doesn't it? Oh, it fixes so much, doesn't it? That's why my kid was taken from me, because that was the devil speaking through the fucking money. What the fuck are you people talking about? Why would I want money? It's the goddamn devil. So, yeah. And even then, people were like, oh, you're not seeing it from the ground. What do you want? You want me to be in that paper fucking money? No, I'd rather be dead. I'd rather just be dead. I don't want to handle money. I don't want to handle any of this shit. I don't want to have things. I don't want any of it. I just want to be myself. If there were a safe place, yeah, I know I need things. I need running water, whatever. To just be comfortable. Like I told my mom, I was like, I'm just glad that I'm somewhere where I can take a piss really quickly. And she was like, see, you're just using me again. Always, always, always. She always has a negative connotation. Everything I fucking state, I want to fucking kill myself. I cannot deal with this fucking shit. Half the time I want to fucking hang myself because it's fucking horrible.
What the hell?
I want to take a piss really quickly. And she was like, see, you're just using me again. Always, always, always. She always has a negative connotation. Everything I fucking state, I want to fucking kill myself. I cannot deal with this fucking shit. Half the time I want to fucking hang myself. Because
what the fuck? I'm sorry, that's not funny what she said. But she was just talking about her mom, and her mom walks in. Bitch, wow, I was outside listening to your whole conversation. I feel bad for her. I wonder how many times she has to hear her talk like this.
Because it's fucking horrible. My life is fucking terrible sometimes. So yeah, I told you I was gonna get off of here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just very sad for the day because everything that's happened. I don't really care. My mom knows what I say. She doesn't like to hear it.
Well,
So
obviously.
yeah, she came in to use the restroom, but I'm just saying, like, some people need to wake the fuck up. Some people need to realize what the fuck's going on, and that's why it's not easy to trust anybody in this world unless you've been around them.
Yeah.
And nobody's like ever hung out with me because I'm very avoidant now, obviously, due to all the trauma, due to all this abuse, due to the things that I should be lawfully able to sue for, but I haven't proceeded in any of that, and can't because I don't have the thousands of dollars it would take to take them to court. Money is the fucking devil. Get over yourselves. Go eat my fucking shit.
Oh my gosh.
So, I love you, Mommy. Thank you. I love you. I'm gonna go drink my coconut milk because my mom loves me at the very least. Everyone have a wonderful weekend, and I'm trying to be positive. I'm gonna see if my mom will still take me to church tomorrow because I probably need it to cleanse my soul because Satan is there. Satan is in me. Yeah, she's gonna take me to church. I need it. Take me to church. Fuck you, people. I love you, Mommy. Today's July.
Oh my gosh, she's so weird.
July 2nd. Watermelon. July 2nd, 2022. Leticia Collins Servin. I should flip the camera while you're on the pot. Yeah, here's my mom taking a pee. That's so funny. I love you, Mommy. Alright. Have a great day, everybody. And at least my mom helped cheer me up at the end of the video. Have a good day.
That's so crazy. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess at least her mom cheered her up. That was so awkward and weird.